Hi, I'm Jordan from Bulletproof BJJ.com, and in this video we're going to be addressing a subject that is pretty important if you want to stay strong and mobile, and that is taking care of your feet. So I want to make sure that my feet are flexible and strong, because in general, people who have knee issues, hip issues, back issues, unless it was some kind of a contact sport injury, there's a really good chance it actually started as a foot problem, whether that's a collapsing arch or a foot that's locked up in plantar flexion. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to work on the sole of the foot. And to do this, I've got this cool trigger point therapy roller here, and you can find more information about these at bulletproofbjj.com. And then I've also got a Mexican Coke bottle. You can find out more information about these at a gas station or a Mexican food restaurant, or actually by traveling to Mexico. Now, this is my preferred tool because it's a little bit easier to use, but this is also super cheap. And you don't have to worry about putting weight on these. I've tossed these into concrete and they don't seem to break. So what we're going to do is I'm putting it in the sole of my foot, and I'm going to put a decent amount of weight into it, and I'm moving pretty slow through this because I'm assessing right now. I'm kind of hunting around for little tight spots, and they will generally present as an area that's more tender than the others. So going from behind the ball of the foot to in front of the heel, and then into that medial inside arch, and then out to the outside of the arch. For most people, the inside of the arch right here is going to be pretty fired up. When I find that, I'm going to stay on it and slowly roll through. When I find the pinpoint, I'm going to stay on that, and I might just wobble on it like this. And I might even hang out on here for a couple of minutes or longer, depending on what kind of result that I get. The Coke bottle, same thing. Some people actually like this better because it really does conform to the shape of the foot, this bottom groove here. This is an easy one to do if you're watching TV, or actually it's, I guess, just when you're watching TV. Now from here, this is literally called the stick. It's a good tool for doing soft tissue work. I'm going to work now on the calves. So I'm going to take my stick here and I'm just rolling across the back, so the kind of gastroc area, and through the inside. I'm going all the way from the top. So I'm staying off joints and bone. I'm not rolling on bone and joints, just soft tissue. But I'm going all the way to the top, all the way down to where these muscles start transitioning into tendons. And again, I'm assessing. I'm hunting around for little stiff spots. I'm outside here on the peroneals, rolling all the way around to the anterior tibialis. The tibialis anterior. Because so many people have problems with what's called dorsiflexion, pointing their foot up like this. Often this is kind of a hot spot. So on the front, just outside the shin bone, and then also on the side. Those peroneals tend to get pretty fired up. Now I'll do the same thing on the other one. Notice that I'm using fairly slow, kind of medium to heavy pressure strokes. As you're doing your soft tissue work, kind of your primary rule of thumb I want you to remember is don't put yourself in pain. What I mean by that is acute pain. So if you can't stop yourself from like holding your breath as you're doing it, or tensing your face up, tensing up your muscles, there's a good chance you're actually tensing everything up so much, it's kind of like if I push into a relaxed bicep and I feel nothing there. I tense it up like that, okay, now that's uncomfortable, it's also not productive. I want to stay as relaxed as I can, just good breathing, long exhalations. Now from here, we're going to follow up the soft tissue work with a stretch. Now this is an exercise called a leg drop that I first learned at the CKFMS, which is part of the functional movement screening certification. And this is a great drill. We're going to modify it slightly to really get into the calves more versus into the hamstrings. Some of you, you'll be so tight you won't even need to do this. What I'm going to do here is set myself up, and I want to keep my toes pointed toward my face. Right here, you should already feel the calf tensed up. You should feel that it's already on stretch. When you set yourself up, have this leg up. So don't get up and try and set yourself up. You can see how tight that is. And that just puts slack in it. Knee is straight, foot or leg straight, foot pointing down. I bring this leg up, relax, and just lower down about this pace. And you should feel the calf stretch increasing. I'm going to pop back up, lower down. Most common mistake with this is doing this. At this point, you're just dancing. You're not actually stretching. So pop up and then slowly lower down. And then switch sides. I'll generally do 2 or even 3 sets of those. And you can reassess that with your toe touch. So I can start off here, see where I land, do the leg drops, and then test that again. Commonly, you'll see that your toe touch has increased. Of course, most of you probably don't have a power rack in your house. So you can do this in an open doorway. So like, let's say that here's the open door and here's the wall. I prop that leg up against the wall and I drop my leg through the open doorway. So we started off, sole of the foot with the TP therapy roller. I just lost my Coke bottle. Or the Mexican Coke bottle. And then working through the calves with the stick, following that up with the leg drops. And I might cycle through that, like I said, 2 or 3 times. So each time I'll go a little more soft tissue work, more leg drops. And as you're doing that, you should find, maybe I do the first set of rolling on the foot, and like, man, that thing is triggered up. And then I do my leg drops, and I come back, and I work on it again. Like, oh, that doesn't feel so bad anymore. And you should progressively find this stuff gets better. And you can reassess, like I said, doing a toe touch, doing a squat, but also just seeing how you feel when you're moving around on the mat. So when I'm in those low positions, see if I just feel like I feel looser, which is the goal, to stay mobile and strong.